All right, Brandon, we'll look forward to that update. Putting the brakes on crude oil trains in this area. That's the call of an Albany-based group that's dedicated to energy safety. They're calling for a ban of the transport of crude oil and other hazardous materials. Kimberly Howard live near the tracks in Albany right now. Kimberly, what exactly I mean, we've heard them talking over time, but is their concern changing? Is it the same one? What are they saying today?
Yeah, Liz, it's pretty much the same concern. They do say that the trains that barrel down these tracks carrying hazardous material like crude oil, that they're not safe and that it could be a catastrophe, especially in this area if there were a derailment because so many people live just feet away. About 44 trains hauling millions of gallons of crude oil rattle down the tracks in upstate New York each week, many of them passing right behind Antoine Clegg's home.
You know, you got kids that's out here, playing basketball and stuff, and, it's dangerous, it's hazardous.
Could very well derail.
Green Party presidential candidate Dr. Jill Stein made a stop in Albany to see the train sites firsthand. She's joining the People of Albany United for Safe Energy, or PAUSE, and their push to halt crude oil trains altogether.
These are essentially weapons of mass destruction that have been regularly detonating every 7 to 14 weeks.
Stein and PAUSE are calling on the State Department of Environmental Conservation to declare these so-called bomb trains a clear and present danger to people as well as the state's natural resources. This all comes just one day after the U.S. National Transportation Safety Board announced the need for major improvements to these rail cars, things like increased thermal protection to prevent fires from spreading. Is that a good start or not good enough?
I think our first priority would be to make this the first step in a definitive transition and not go there.
There are too many variables involved, and there's no margin for error. We've got crummy tracks, we've got decrepit bridges, we have the very volatile Bakken, we have these fragile tank cars.
Meanwhile, Albany County Executive Dan McCoy says he'd like to call for an all-out ban, but he realizes stricter safety regulations may be more of a reality. He's just hoping the Federal Department of Transportation will release those changes soon.
We need to implement these changes yesterday and stop kicking the can down the road.
Now, I also reached out to the State Department of Environmental Conservation as well as the federal DOT to ask how they plan to proceed, but I'm still waiting to hear back. Live in Albany, Kimberly Howard, CBS 6 News.
Kimberly, thanks. It's now day 2.